Oh man, everybody's gonna hate me for saying this. I don't like Jujutsu Kaisen anymore.
That's fine.
Oh, that's fine.
It's
That's
so
fine.
sad. Season
fine.
1 was just so amazing. Kind of ending up like this, like 10 hours into it because you can't see. Like,
Yeah.
I could be scratching my balls. No one would know. That really spoke to me because right when I was in the peak of my Levi phase, I would say it was during the midst of the pandemic, and I think that was a rough time for everybody. That was an awesome scene. I love that. I didn't love what happened, obviously,
Okay,
but like,
all right.
okay. Almost never get asked now, but growing up, my dad was stopped multiple times by law enforcement, especially because they didn't think that we were his kids. He was given a mission to kill him, and to steal documents off of him. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I love going bigger, and I don't know if I'm trying to compensate for something or what, but I just want to keep building bigger and better stuff.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome. To another episode of Life Anime Podcast, where you come to be entertained, find some escape and relief, and where we talk about the impact that anime has in our lives. We are your host, Family Man Joe.
And Mr. Music Major. How y'all doing?
See, they have no clue who you're emulating right there. Like you were just
because here's the thing, because you always do it to me.
Oh yeah.
And so I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah,
cool.
I'm usually like mouthing you, copying you, getting ready to move on from there. But anyway, with that being said, another episode, another special guest, man, and a mutual friend at this point. So this would be dope to finally have this conversation for the first time ever, and really super excited to have this. So without further ado, man, she is a cosplayer, model, costume designer, content creator, and VTuber, which I can't wait to get into that aspect as well. She's been creating and crafting for over 10 years. She is the 2023 Esports Cosplay Award winner, which is insane. That's awesome. So awesome. Congratulations. She has worked with brands like Riot Games, Bandai, and more. A major, my bad. A major, and when I say major, I mean major Levi stan. When she pops up, you'll get to see all the Levi statues behind her. Creator of the most insane arcane vandal and gauntlet props I've ever seen in my entire life. Ridiculous. We have the walking Sonic the Hedgehog encyclopedia, the one, the only Akemi-kun cosplayer. Akemi, how you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic. Thanks for joining us.
Of course.
First of all, I want to ask, because again, I mentioned the props, right? The gauntlet and the vandal. Those are absolutely insane. Perry showed me them. We actually had Perry on at one point, and we were talking about different females in the space as far as cosplayers, creators, whatever it is. And she brought you up, and she mentioned the vandal and the gauntlets that you saw, that you made it, and they saw them for the first time. Like, they look like the actual thing from the show. You did a phenomenal job with those.
Thank you so much. I had a really fun time with that project.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how long did it take you to make both of those? I guess technically three of those, right? Because two gauntlets, one vandal, yeah.
I had 3 weeks to do all of those, so yeah.
rush order for sure.
For sure. Unfortunately, we don't get a whole lot of time because there is a lot of NDA that goes into making these things.
Okay.
So it's released only very, very close to the deadline because a lot of these companies don't want their assets to get leaked and whatnot.
Right.
Understandably so, but that usually means we have very little time to work.
You get the short end of the stick of them wanting to protect themselves. Yeah, that's crazy.
But unfortunately, that's just how things are nowadays.
Yeah,
so.
no.
Yeah. Do you want to see them?
Actually, yeah, that would be
yeah. I'll be back. It's like right out here on my shelf, I think.
The Levi blanket.
First of all, and see, I'm a hit on this later, but I see Sonic, I see Shadow.
Yeah. We'll touch on all those. That's Levi in the back.
No. I'm talking. Is that Kirby?
Kirby, in the middle. Oh my gosh!
Holy crap!
My baby. Oh, it's quite big. Hold on. There you go. Yeah.
That's so sick. I'm glad they. I know they kept the Vandal from you, right?
Yes,
but you got
they
to keep
wanted
the
to
gauntlets.
keep the gauntlets too, but I was like, can I keep this one actually?
Yeah.
That is
I'd like to keep this one.
wild.
I
That
want to
thing
shoot
is.
some Vi stuff.
I was gonna say that's so awesome. Yeah, and you've done a phenomenal job with the Vi cosplays as well. I've seen. So,
Yeah, that one was a lot of fun.
Oh my god.
It's not too heavy either.
no, it's
Thank goodness.
yeah. To
So,
be able to put
question.
them on and lug them around would be crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Question.
I
So,
plan
I
to
know-
eventually.
I know you say you're a Sonic the Hedgehog encyclopedia. I have to ask because I ask this all the time when it comes to gamers.
Mm-hmm.
Super Mario or Sonic?
Sonic.
I'm gonna say you already know the answer to that question, P. You're on
I
the
mean,
outside. You're on the outside looking in, P.
I'm just saying, just because she's a walking encyclopedia, don't mean she enjoy,
I enjoy both, for sure.
every now and again.
I mean, if we're talking about games, I enjoy the Super Mario games better. For
Well, then
there you
obvious
go.
reasons,
There you
but
go.
just in terms of overall character design and lore and the comics, that I love Sonic for sure.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Sonic was actually my first ever video game. Like my dad was a huge Sonic fan. He ran tracks. Like the whole speed aspect was big for us. I used to have my kids broke it, but I used to have this standing Sonic figure that my mom got me for college. Had in my room. My wallet was Sonic. My keychain was Sonic.
Yeah.
So
That's
I was
cute. I love that.
Yeah, I love big Sonic fan. So I'm not as big of a Sonic fan as you are, but I could appreciate it for sure.
Aw, that's very cute.
So let's get into your anime origin story.
Sure.
When did you first start watching anime, and what was the first anime that you ever watched?
Ooh, I might be too young to remember when I first started watching anime. My parents, growing up, bought us Sailor Moon and I think Pokemon on VHS.
Oh, that's awesome.
Growing up, and they would kind of give those to our babysitters, and they were like, "Just pop these in, they'll shut up."
Those are some good parents. They got you started young. Got you started really young.
100%, yeah. My mom is Japanese, and my dad's always been very into just cultures that aren't his own. So they were just staples in our household.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Was there well, I guess T, that's technically my bad.
Go,
I was gonna say, what was so obviously you started with Pokemon and Sailor Moon at a very, very young age. What for you? Because obviously that wasn't your choice, and you kind of just plopped in front of the TV and watched it. But what for you was the anime that got you hooked? What was I really, really enjoy anime, and I want to kind of venture out and find more.
Yeah, I think when my little adolescent brain first discovered oh, this is its own thing and its own genre, it was Full Metal Alchemist.
Let's go, Akemi. I knew. Where's
you have let me tell you have just made Joe's entire year.
I have the whole hardcover set.
I have that one too. It's right over there.
Oh my god. Lord. Okay, hold on. Wait.
So if that's the case,
Go ahead, P.
If that's the case, Joe, and I'll let you finish after that. If that is the case, what is your top 3 favorite anime of all time? Because now I have to know.
Oh, that's so hard. Okay. Attack on
Wait,
Titan.
No.
Oh, okay. No. Okay.
P. No, because I got that already. I got.
Okay.
But okay, so then who's your favorite character in Full Metal Alchemist?
Ooh. See, I feel like Edward is so basic, but I love him.
Okay.
I love his whole journey.
Okay.
Roy Mustang, close second.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking for. I'm a big Roy guy. So.
Yes, love Roy Mustang.
That's awesome.
And probably Envy too. Envy's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, we like Envy.
We do like Envy. I mean, yes and no. Yes and no. Besides one thing they did, but other than that, yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, we'll say it.
Obviously, you are constantly working, right, with as far as creating cosplays, wigs, crafting things, props, whatever. When I'm assuming you watch anime while you're working, right?
Mm-hmm, of course.
Okay. So when you're not working, sub or dub?
Ooh, sub.
Okay. Then my next question to you is, obviously you mentioned your mom is Japanese, so that would make you half Japanese as well. Then do you know Japanese? Can you speak Japanese fluently?
Very, very little.
Okay, so
yeah, just enough to get by.
Okay, so never watching sub with no subtitles.
Unfortunately, no. I have family members that only speak Japanese, and I'll do that thing where they'll talk to me fluently, and I'll understand enough, and I'll just reply back in English.
Oh.
Because I don't remember the words. And I suppose I'm Japanese passing enough as well, because if I'm ever in Japan and I try to speak Japanese, they'll just assume like, oh, she's fluent, and then they'll talk like rapid fire really fast. And I'm like,
wait,
no.
Wait, stop, slow down.
I can't, so I have to go full on gaijin. I am American. I can't. I'm so sorry.
Okay, so then. Speaking of Japan, because obviously we've never been, and I want to go so bad for like so many reasons. I would love to like just spend a year in Japan and just go everywhere. But have you? So do you still have family in Japan as well? Then
actually, no more family in Japan. They've all moved here to the States. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say. So then, do you go? How often have you been back to? I guess maybe not necessarily back, but how often have you been to Japan?
I think last time I went was 2019, and then the whole pandemic. Yeah. So I haven't been back since, but I've been wanting to go. The yen is extremely weak right now, so that would be a good time to go.
Yeah. Do a whole bunch of things while you're there.
Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff.
That's great. Okay, cool. I was curious about that because I'm always my goal before I go to Japan is to become maybe not necessarily fluent to where I'm rapid fire and you wouldn't understand me, but to know enough to where if I go to Japan, I can kind of speak and talk and kind of have fun and do everything without. They say like obviously I'm sure not necessarily everyone, but a lot of people speak English as well, and I could maneuver. I know tons of people who've gone that don't know a lick of Japanese other than the keywords they learn in anime. But I would love to go not as a tourist. So I was very curious as far as how much Japanese you knew and if you watched anime without subtitles.
I wish I could, but unfortunately not.
Yeah.
God bless you, Joe. I'm going over there. I will be lost in the sauce, and I will be absolutely okay. I'll be okay. Just point me to some good food spots, and I am good to go.
Okay, so Pete tried to go to your top three, and I was gonna go top based on all the cosplays you've done because you've done 1,000 of them, basically. Maybe not necessarily 1,000, but pretty much a ton of them, right? I wanted to try and guess your top 5 based off of all the cosplays that you've done, and well, you told us one already, so that was one on the list. But I was curious, right? Because you've done a ton of League of Legends, a ton of Valorant. You've got Toph. You got obviously Vi and Caitlyn from Arcane. You've done Sukuna. You've done Sonic as well. You've done a whole bunch of different
Sephiroth.
Yeah. Bro, she did Spyro the Dragon, and I was like, that blew my mind. I haven't seen Spyro since I was a kid, so that was so fun to see that one. But with the cosplay ones, I'm gonna list off 5 anime. I'm curious if they are, hopefully most of them in your top 5, and I just got it right based on your cosplay. So, Demon Slayer.
Okay, yeah, I think so.
Attack on Titan, My Hero, Cowboy Bebop, and JJK.
Ooh, okay. I want to say you got 2.
Okay, that's fine. I figured, and I was curious because I was wondering if all these cosplays were done because they were your favorites or because obviously there's what's popular and everyone's talking about during these times, right? Obviously, JJK, My Hero, Attack on Titan are all like really, really popular anime. Even Demon Slayer too. I forgot that one, but like they're all really, really popular current anime. So I didn't know if it was you going with what everyone's talking about and wanting to see, or whether they were your favorites. So.
I would say they were my favorite characters at the time for sure.
Okay.
And I would say I'm like a sponge. I absorb a lot for sure. And so even though I might be really into this anime at the time or it's what's hot right now, I'm also a very cynical person.
Okay.
So oh man, everybody's gonna hate me for saying this. I don't like Jujutsu Kaisen anymore.
That's fine.
Oh, that's fine.
It's so sad. Season 1 was just so amazing, and how the manga was progressing was so amazing. And then I feel like after the Shibuya arc, and then unfortunately, I can't give MAPPA too much flack for this because they were animating Attack on Titan: The Last Attack at the same exact time they were
they were put in a tough spot for sure.
Yeah, an extremely tough spot. So season 2 just didn't hit. Oh, that was so heartbreaking, and I was like, you know what? No.
Wait, so you read the manga as well then?
Of course, yeah.
Are you all?
So what did you? Yeah, are you caught up?
I believe so. I mean, if I'm not, I've seen spoilers already.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so all good.
So how did you feel about the manga? It's like the culling games. Is that just okay?
It's fine. Like, what was his? I forget his name now. The judge character. I thought he was kind
I
of neat.
like him.
Yeah,
I
he
did
was
not think
neat.
of his
Yeah.
name.
Yeah, but other than that, I think just the way that Gege writes and kind of talks about the whole world that he's built, I fall asleep. It's so boring. Again, I forget his name. The is it the high school senior with the pink hair?
Oh, with the slots. He has the slots.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know you're talking about.
It was just like how many pages? And like full pages of just graphs and ratios. And I'm like, what am I reading?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of exposition going on explaining how things.
Much
way too much.
Too much. I've just kind of fallen out of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then we have to go back, and he would have to like make up something out of thin air to explain why this was going on. I was like, oh, yeah. Enough.
It's like I'm done. No, I can't do it. I'm not invested enough in this story anymore to put up with stuff like that.
I know Joe had told me like read the last. Like I was almost caught up, and Joe was like read the last little bit, and I read the last little bit. Infuriating.
Yeah, honestly.
So like, I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. It started out so strong, unfortunately, but yeah, that was my bread and butter for a hot minute. Season 1 just blew me away, and then I had read the Shibuya Arc in the manga, and I was like, oh my god, I wonder where this is going. Straight into the gutter, it seems like. Kind of a shame, but oh well. I'm not afraid to say it. I feel like everybody's afraid to say that.
The thing is that there are so many people that just are diehards that just love it and are standing by, which that's fine. There's no issue with that. Yeah. But if I think people are slightly afraid to kind of just like, you guys all love it. I'm gonna go solo over this way.
And plus, I don't think people have read it either, and so I think that brings like another. Like I do think that people enjoyed Shibuya very well. I am curious to see what they're going to do with the culling games and how they are going to make sense of all of this. Because if they do it like the manga, I don't see how they're going to do that.
I can't imagine that they would, unfortunately. I hope they do. I hope they bring it back around. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But I have no clue. It's just a big old jumble mess over there right now.
Yeah. No, I think for me personally, like I was a fan. I enjoyed it until the community just continued to spoil everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Constantly, it made me pick up the manga, so I was like, at least I could figure out what's going on before. But they were absolutely ridiculous with the spoilers. So
yeah, Twitter. Why you do this to us for every single time? I'll never know peace.
And that's the thing. Like I even had we do the podcast. We have mutual content creators out there who do stuff. There are people out there who would just no spoiler warnings, just straight panel in the face. I'm like, wait, what? I just opened Instagram today.
No comment on some of these people.
Post.
Because some of these people, I was this close to be like, unfollow. All right, you're doing a lot.
Are you guys caught up with My Hero by chance?
Yes.
Yes. Same problem, but crazy. What was it? Star Spangled?
Stars and Stripes.
Stars and Stripes.
Saying something like that. Yeah. Crunchyroll had posted the day that episode came out. Her death scene on Instagram, and I was like, "Hey, yo, what are you doing?" The day it dropped, I was like, "Not even the companies care anymore." Cool. Yeah.
Also, I am not a fan of what they did because she was incredibly OP, and for her to lose the way that she did, throw it away.
Crazy.
It's like we're expecting someone to come and like completely change the landscape of the war, of the battle, and all of a sudden, bye-bye.
Like whatever she says, like it's in order. Whatever she says, all right, like it happens. So she is a nerve character. Like, how do you beat that? And then you find a little loophole to say Shigaraki is really not two people. Man, get out of here with this foolishness.
Yeah. Again, My Hero, same problem. Season 1 through 2, super strong, and I think. I forget his name. The weird little magic man with the mustache.
La Brava and
right after that, it all kind of fell apart oddly, and the writing just kind of blew up, and then everybody's motivations got all scrambled, and I was like, what is going on? Like,
did you watch this season?
I did not watch this season.
Okay,
Little bits and pieces here and there, and I've been reading the manga as well. And just like some clips of like, oh, at least the animation hasn't totally gone better.
It came back. Yeah, it came back for sure.
Like, thank God. But again, just the way a lot of these progress, either the mangaka they're not expecting the properties to blow up, and they're not writing far enough ahead, so they're kind of scrambling to fill in gaps and holes, and that's where all the
fluff, the nonsense, the implosion
all this nonsense
happens.
comes from, or I don't know. Sometimes that stuff just kind of falls apart. So I did really like My Hero Academia, but now not so much. Yeah.
I even heard and I can't remember who exactly said it, if it was the author or not, but like Attack on Titan was supposed to apparently end at the basement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then obviously everyone in the world was watching Attack on Titan. They're like, yeah, no, you got to keep this going. And so it's always just crazy to see, like, to hear stuff like that. Like the author is not able, in a sense, in full control of their own creation.
Yeah,
also,
they wanted to. Oh no, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
They Isayama wanted to break it up into 2 parts, but it was so popular at the time. He was like, you know what, I will release the whole story just all in one go, and that created that whole 10-year stretch that he spent just on Attack on Titan. And he's claimed, I don't know if this is true or not, that ever since that project was greenlit, he's known exactly what's going to happen and exactly how it was going to end since the beginning, and the story that he wanted to tell. So I think that's why that turned out so cohesive and so awesome, is because he knew what he was going to write. Essentially. Whereas a lot of people kind of start with like a concept of world or an idea, and then they consistently build upon that as the years go by. Whereas he was like, nope, this is how long it's going to be. This is how I want it to end. This is what I want to include, kind of thing.
Yeah, because I think 5 or 6 years before it like ended, or maybe even longer than that, he had actually drew out the last manga page. I don't know how true that was, but he absolutely knew how he wanted to end it. Also, how could you end at the basement?
Exactly. That would have been such a bummer.
To find out you are not the only somebody.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
That'd have been the biggest cliffhanger ever.
I think it was that and Sasha's death were the only 2 things that they ended up changing, because she was supposed to die very early on in the forest when
she went back.
That was where she was supposed to die. His editor had come to him in tears because Sasha was his favorite character, and he was like, please, you can't do this to Sasha, I beg you, rewrite this portion. And he was like, she's like, okay, I will, but it's gonna be borrowed.
Thank you to the editor.
It's gonna be borrowed time though.
He was like, I will, but it will be borrowed time. Like, she's meant to die, my guy.
Why are you killing off Potato Girl?
Yo. Again, we want to say thank you to all of our members. We truly appreciate the support and love that you guys show. It does not go unnoticed. If you aren't a member and you want to become a member, either hit that join button or the link is in the description down below. For our spirit detectives, we have official Crispy, Soul Striker Kiter, That Black Guy KJ, and Logan Gallegos. For State Alchemists, we have Chris B, Commander of the HSV, Joel, Dami Weeb, and Cyborg Frankie 7. And for Yonkos, we have Shay PA Girl, It's Motions, Ahmed Ali, Anime with Kids Chris, Nina Meek, HSV Chief, HSV Shot Up 90, and Satan's Truth. Again, we appreciate you guys so much. Now, let's get back to the episode.
Okay, so with that being said, then was Gabby right or wrong? Are you a Gabby?
Now you're getting into mine, but go ahead.
I wouldn't really even say right or wrong, just kind of given the circumstances. I understand like everything that's happening and everybody involved. That's what I love about Isayama. He writes human experiences just in such like a raw manner, and you get to kind of see everything, which is awesome. So it wasn't so much like, oh, was she right, was she wrong? I was like, that was a really good scene. That was an awesome scene. I love that. I didn't love what happened, obviously,
Okay,
but like good
Okay.
scene.
Okay.
Just like the raw emotion that Isayama is able to draw
Man.
out for people is
The expression on
stellar.
everyone's faces, when,
everybody
the way it was going in slow mo and just silent, oh my gosh,
So good.
So with that being said, then being that we have something for Gabby, was Aaron wrong or right? Or is that do you see it the same way?
The same way, I would say. He was put in this very unfortunate circumstance, and it's so powerful about how he feels like this is the only way he can do this, and this is the only way out. And you forget until the very end, like, holy crap, this kid is 19, and he's being put in this situation and forced to do these terrible things.
Don't you dare make me feel bad for Aaron. Don't you make me feel bad for him.
Like, it's not so much bad for Aaron as to just like watching, like, humanity and history repeating itself, and no matter the circumstance, and who's the loser that gets the short end of the stick, right? Yeah, crazy stuff.
It's been dope. I'm rewatching it. My wife, she's not an anime fan at all, but this is one she's bought into, which is great.
Yes.
So I think we had the last 2 parts to go, but it's been so long since we watched it together that we're restarting it from the beginning, and so it's been so fun for me to like go back and see them introduce, like details. We see Reiner from like the very, very beginning, and it's like, dude, you've been here this entire time.
But not only that, but do you see like some of the stuff like Isayama put, like you should have known he was a snake.
And then like, so we just got to the point where John finds Marco, and I'm like so hurt and so angry at the same time. I'm like, not Marco, bro.
Yeah, not
and then
Marco.
You know what happened. So it's
because
just,
even
it's
when
so
the first
fun
time
to
even the first time when they saw the Beast Titan and they saw him like skipping, and you see Reiner and Bertolt's face, they weren't scared because they were scared, like, why is he here?
Yeah,
I know who this is.
It's so fun. Like every time, I think that's what makes that anime so special to me too. Is that every time you rewatch it, there's something new, and there's like little details that you missed. And like now that you're in on the secret too, you're like, oh my god.
Aaron crying in the very beginning is like just it's so crazy.
I think episode 2, there's actually an older version of Eren Yeager in the past, like present, where young Mikasa, Armin, and Eren are present in the foreground after they escape Shigashima. He's like hanging out in the background.
Okay,
I gotta go back.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Because
like you see him like the long hair, the same outfit with the cloak, and you're like, hey yo, are you serious?
Why are you
That's crazy. Yeah,
so insane.
That's insane. Well, we're going to keep on the topic of Attack on Titans. Senior Workspace. You have so many Levi stickers and figurines all around. Apparently, don't know if it's true or not, 40 plus Levi figurines. Can you tell us? Absolutely. Can you tell us, what is it about Levi that you love so much?
I think it's his whole story and his drive to keep going, even though he is dealt the absolute worst circumstances out of anybody. And basically the drive to keep pushing forward, even when you have nothing to live for, that really stuck with me. Because I feel like, well, I don't want to speak for everybody, but I feel like nowadays it's kind of like, what do we do, right? We eat, we live, and we work, and we pay our bills, and then one day you just die, right?
Yeah.
And his whole concept as a character is found family, that no matter who he loses or what he goes through, there's always, like, he'll always find, like, family again. Like he had it's just so sweet and so raw. I'm like, oh, I love that. Like
from Kenny to then obviously to Erwin and Hanj, and then now to the younger crew.
Now to the younger crew.
Yeah.
He has always
and then Gabby and Falco now. Yeah. It's just so sweet.
Yeah.
And that really, really spoke to me, because right when I was in the peak of my Levi phase, I would say it was during the midst of the pandemic, and I think that was a rough time for everybody.
Yeah.
And so that I clung on to that. I was like, if Levi can do it, I can do it 100%.
I love that. Okay. She gave us I was going to say, because now I'm going to read, as I'm watching this again, I'm going to be paying attention to Levi more often too, because obviously Levi's one of my favorites, but I've never
seen
looked at him or thought of him that way.
Yeah. Have you seen his OVA by chance?
No.
Oh, gorgeous! Have to watch that. Okay. Beautifully animated. That's his origin story. How Erwin recruits him into the Scouts.
Oh, okay.
Very, very good. And you'll see his first family there as well. With oh my gosh, not me blanking on their names, but
with Kenny and them. Kenny and
not Kenny. His original two what's the name? His two gang mates, essentially. They run a gang.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on their names.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I'll find it and pop it up right there for everybody to see. Okay, cool. No, I didn't know that was there. Now I can't wait to watch that.
Very, very good. Some of my favorite scenes in Attack on Titan. And it's kind of also where his devotion to Erwin comes from as well. Okay. So that'll provide some insight there too.
Perfect. Yeah. I like
that's great I was always curious of why. Like you understand why him and Levi have the relationship, but I never understood like why. Like what is really going on between you guys?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So like no spoilers then, but I always find this fascinating that people don't know this, but Levi's from how he first met Erwin, he was given a mission to kill him and to steal documents off of him. Yeah. That was how they became intertwined.
I had no clue.
Yeah, his original mission was somebody told him to kill Erwin Smith. Yeah. Crazy, right?
That's like full. That's crazy. That is crazy.
That is a story worth. Like, I gotta watch now.
Again, apologize. Technology. Again, we gotta love it. Love it, hate relationship with the technology. So technology issues, guys. But we're back. With that being said,
we just found out that Aaron and Levi were best friends, and that was only because Levi went to kill Aaron.
Yep.
And now we're back.
I just love all the details that Isayama throws in. There's also a manga he released earlier this year called Bad Boy, and that's Levi's how he got his Ackerman awakening as well.
Okay.
So, we got to see that for the first time, and that was
P written that down, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.
That hurt me so much.
Oh, so it's sad. Oh,
so it's so sad. Yeah. Because his mom is alive for a portion of that manga. So yeah.
Oh man, I'm going to cry.
But he had teased idea like in multiple interviews in the past because he holds all of his drinks like this.
Yes,
by the cup, not the rim. And a lot of fans were like, "Hey, why does he do that?" Like, he's the only character that does that. And Isayama had said when he was younger, in the underground, they don't get luxuries like that very often, very, very rare. And he had a tea set that he used to share tea with his mother before she had passed away. It was the one thing that he could remember her by, the one physical object that he had. And it had gotten damaged at some point during the Bad Boy manga. And when he went to go pick it up by the handle, it dropped and shattered into a million pieces and broke him.
He's traumatized.
He's traumatized. So that's why he holds all of his drinks like that. He can't bear to like relive that memory, I suppose.
Oh my goodness.
Do we find out why he's a neat freak as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. I gotta watch it. We gotta watch it. Time to watch it and read. But Kemi, thanks for the gems that we, for whatever reason, are oblivious to.
My apologies in advance. They're all very, very sad.
Yeah. What were you saying, P?
We can do that as a sip and watch.
Sip and watch? Yeah. Okay. We could do that for Discord. That would be fun because probably most people haven't seen that. That would be fun. This isn't quite anime, right? Well, there's one, right? There's one anime of it. But why the love for Sonic? right? Because
Ooh.
when we were told about you, I got this from Kumar and Perry. Were saying that they called you the Sonic Encyclopedia, right?
Oh,
So that's
no.
where I got that from. And Stumpy, your sister's the reason we knew you had 40 plus Levi figures in the room. So I had to do a
That's
little
so
digging.
funny.
But why? What is it about Sonic? Why Sonic?
Oh, I mean, I've liked Sonic since I was young as well, but I think it's so funny because I feel like when I was younger, I was really, really into pop culture and media, and then around, high school, like college, just being busy with life and everything, I kind of fell out of it. And then now in my adulthood, now that I have adult money,
Hey, man,
especially,
listen.
it's crazy how I'm like, wow, I haven't changed even a little bit. Just I'm the exact same person I was like 10, 20 years ago.
Nothing wrong with it.
Just got responsibilities. That's really it.
Honestly, but again, Sonic, I just love how he's kind of taken up this mantle as just like hero of Earth, savior of Earth, and he's just so the unbridled confidence and just like I don't know, like the attitude, not that he can't mess up, but that he has like this collective group of friends that he can rely on, like no matter the circumstances, and just I don't know, just overall being just like a cool guy. He's just so chill, and oh man, all of his lines, like not all of them, but like most of them stellar. Have you seen the crossover comic that just came out with DC and Sonic the Hedgehog?
No, I have not.
So funny. Everybody's been freaking out. He confirmed Sonic is faster than the Flash, apparently.
Let's go.
This is something that I feel like we already knew.
The thing is, no, because I had so many. I could go back to my Facebook, and I had so many debates in high school about who was faster, so many times. And everyone's like, "It's the Flash." I'm like, "No, bro. I'm telling you, Sonic is definitely faster,
feats
bro."
of like Archie, like his feet are ridiculous.
He's fast, but
that's
so awesome.
Man. Yeah, but
my childhood me is so happy right now.
It's so great. You have to read the comic because the way that it plays out is just fantastic. The Flash shows up. And he's like, "Why don't you hang back, kid? I got this." And Sonic's like, "Nah, man." Like he's like, "I can keep up with you. I can even go faster than you." And Flash goes, "Well, too bad for you. I'm speed personified." And then Sonic speeds past him and he goes, "Well, too bad. I'm speed perfected." And I'm like, "Oh, good. That's good.
That's really good." Oh man.
I was like, "Damn, Sonic, you're cool." And then they show up with the rest of the crew later, and Sonic's like, "Hey guys, you mind catching us up to speed? Because the Flash is a little slow." Like, oh my god, the sass from this little guy.
He's like he's in a sense this cocky little hedgehog, bro. And
love him so much.
I love it.
Yeah, excellent.
Is Sonic your favorite? Is Sonic your favorite character?
Damn, that's hard.
That's hard, P. It's like
that's so hard. I love Sonic and Shadow equally. I feel like I love them both. Here, actually, hold on. Come here, little guys. Little guys.
Oh, love it.
Oh, they're so cute.
God, I wish. Now where's
my? I was about to say I have.
Where's my Sonic?
Yeah, little guys.
Oh, there's my. I got a shadow. There we go. I'll pull that out.
Oh, let's go. Oh, look at him. Yes. Oh, actually, if we can head back to Levi for a moment, there's one I want to show you guys. Hold on.
Yes, please do. Please show us.
So many, but there's one.
Oh, there's mine.
Just to prove to the people how big of a Levi stan I am, because I'm sure anybody that knows Levi figures will be surprised that I have this.
Oh.
But here he is. It's not very impressive. It's actually quite ugly. Yeah, he is holding his coffee like that. It's from Lawson. It's one of what you call it? Japan's like 7-Elevens, like konbinis, little convenience stores. There's only 50 of these that were ever printed. So that tells you how much I love Levi.
Like in a safe somewhere.
In a safe, right?
That's awesome. I mean,
Yes.
mine's not as cool as that, but I got a Levi here too. It's just not as cool as that. There's
Very
way more than
nice.
50 of these. That's so sweet.
Only
No,
50.
yeah, I mean, he is kept in a very safe space at a son.
Okay.
Like I dust
Okay.
him frequently, all that good stuff. I still have the original box. Like, you know,
Okay.
I'm not a freak. I don't tear open my boxes like an animal. I'm just
Okay. I think that was the hardest thing for me to decide. And I think that's why I ended up buying duplicates of my Funkos. I'm like, I want one that I don't open, and I want one if I decide to put it somewhere in the room, it cannot be in the box. And if I happen to damage the box, it is what it is. I got a backup, but that's always been the hardest thing with collecting stuff. Is do I leave it in its box or do I enjoy it out of its box?
There was this ramen bowl that my sister got me. It's from Naruto, and I want to eat out of it so bad, but I will never, ever in a million years unpackage it. Ever. And I want to eat out of this thing so bad. It's looking at me in my face. Sorry.
I love that. There are some things I will keep in the box, but for a lot of the Attack on Titan figures, the packaging's so ugly just because they usually package the little individual pieces for the ODM gear in these tiny little plastic bags. It's a goddamn nightmare. The amount of times I've had to put together ODM gear is insane. I know it like the back of my hand at this point. I could suit up and get ready for battle in 10 minutes. It's crazy, but the packaging is just not cute, really. So they look way better outside the boxes.
Yeah, no, for sure. Okay, so this is deviating here a little bit. P, why collecting? What? Obviously, you create a whole bunch of stuff yourself, right? But what is it about collecting? Whether it's just Levi or obviously you have a bunch of Sonic stuff behind you as well. What is it about collecting that? I guess why? Is this the best way I could put it?
Ooh,
I'm always curious as to why other people collect stuff. I know you mentioned you haven't changed in the last 10, 20 years, right? But what? And you have adult money, but is there something else outside of that makes you want to collect the things you do? Create the 50 ODM gears that at the back of your hand. Why collecting?
Damn, that's a good one. I mean, I've always been a little bit of a collector, I'd say. Just my sister collects physical copies of games, and I've always liked to collect, the whole manga series of a particular manga that I really like. There's just something about completing the set, or just having a physical manifestation of something that you really love that's just so satisfying. And also, but I do have a little bit of a problem. If I can't have all of them, I will not start a collection. There was a point in my life where I was like, let me start a Vegeta collection. Couldn't do it. There's too many Vegeta figures. There's too many. I can't do it. I have every single official Levi figure that has ever been approved by Hajime Isayama. So there's unofficial ones statues and other ones that companies sponsor that they just kind of give the okay to. But every single official Attack on Titan figure of Levi I have. So crazy. It's the collection is complete. Complete. Yeah.
That's wild.
That's dope.
Okay, so Funkos then don't count in that, I'm guessing.
Funkos don't count, but I do have all the Levi Funkos as well. Yeah.
Okay, so the one I just showed. So you have the one I pulled.
Yes,
Josie has that one. Yeah.
Okay, I was like, I'm like, she has to have this. If she's as crazy about Levi, she definitely has this. Okay, great. Okay,
actually. That's a really good question, Joe. I don't think I've ever heard that question. That's a good question.
No, I mean, and you spoke about if not being able to finish it, or collect all of it, right? That was me with manga. I have all the Attack on Titan, everything One Piece that's been printed so far, Full Metal, what else? I got one other one. What's the other one? Yu Yu Hakusho. I got both the English and Japanese for Yu Yu Hakusho.
I got English. Where'd you get Japanese from?
I got it from my boy who went to Japan, Joe.
That's right.
Southside. Yeah,
which is why I got to go to Japan.
Yeah, but I understand not wanting. At least that's how I am. I didn't want to get them until I could get the whole set.
Yeah,
I didn't want to be I got 1, 2, 3, and 4, and now I gotta wait for 5, 6, and 7 to officially be printed. I want all of them at one point to just say I have them. So I get it.
There's just something so satisfying about just having that full set.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like I have as many mangas as I have not picked up every single manga that I have on this bookshelf, but just to have them, it does a lot for my soul.
I'm the same way.
Must be nice.
We're getting P started on the collection. He's got a little.
Man,
we're getting him. We're building him up a little bit.
So here's the thing. I have a very addictive personality, and I know if
that's why we have.
Yep.
Joe, you are ridiculous.
Can you tell?
I am ridiculous.
You are ridiculous.
Hey, Akemi's on the same level, if not worse than me. So,
I'll never forget when I started collecting the little that I had. I remember one time, and my wife was like, "All right, dude." I had went to like the store and I had put it on my credit card and I like ranked up like $1,500 in like probably like the first sitting. And my wife saw and she was like, "Sir," she's like, "So this we finna start doing?" And I was like, "I like it," but also like, and which is why I want to start collecting because like cue sad music, but but when I was like in a kid, we didn't have money to where like I could collect these. Like I remember going to Walmart and I'm like, "Hey, I want some Pokemon cards," and I was like, "Can't really do it right now." But I want some Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I can't really do it. So now I know that I can. If I was to go all out, I think it would be a problem. I would be Joe Constantine.
Listen, I should be worse. My wife came down to my room one day and she was like, "When did you?" I was like, "Yeah, just go ahead and go back out the door. Don't look, because I should have more." And I don't.
Yes.
So
also, I don't have anywhere to put it, so I think that's also another very hard part.
That's fair. Yeah, I personally, whenever I buy like a new figure, a new statue, or whatnot, I know where it's gonna go. I'm like, okay, there's like, I'll clear out a space. I have room. Here's where it's gonna go. My sister has the opposite problem. She'll find something she really loves and just buy it, and I'm like, girl, where are we gonna put that?
Tell her to teach me her ways. I want to do that.
I mean, cool, good for her, but she's really into Red Hood right now, and there's just no Red Hood merch, figures, anything.
Red Hood,
Hood from DC, yeah, one of the Robin kids or whatnot. Yeah, that's her vibe. She loves Red Hood, and she wanted a figure so bad, and the only one she could find was 1/3 scale Red Hood figure of like a 6'2" man.
That
I was like, "Where's he gonna go?"
Yeah.
You don't. I know what your room looks like. You don't have shelf space. Yeah, but he's next to our TV. He's on a little shelf, but he's almost the height of our whole TV.
Yeah. So every time we watch TV, we'll see Red Hood.
Yeah, he's standing there menacingly, like he's trying to protect Gotham, like from our living room.
No, I get that because I have in my storage room, I have like so many posters and canvases that have not been put on a wall, sitting in a box still. So
it's so bad that Joe would be like, "So, Preston, what do you want? I will send you things.
I'll send you something so I don't get yelled at as much anymore for having all this stuff." But, all right, P, let's move on before we keep her here forever.
So let's talk about
a good time.
Good. Oh, good. We love to hear it. Love to hear it.
So let's talk about how you got to where you are now. How did you get into crafting and creating costumes and cosplays?
It's so funny. Just purely by chance, I would say. In terms of the whole cosplay debacle, my sister had come to me after she went to her very first anime expo in 2010, I believe.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And she said,
I like it.
Yeah. And she had told me, like, yo, people dress up, like, outside of Halloween. I was like, no way. You joshing me. That's so fun. Like, people do that? She was like, yeah, we should go and start doing that at that con. So my first cosplay was Edward Elric back in 2011.
What? I saw that.
Did you?
Because
okay.
you have like your first, and then you have like I think it was 2019.
Yeah,
I saw that. Yeah,
yes,
very
That was my very first con, and they were promoting Full Metal Alchemist at the time at that con. So there's a big like Alphonse statue there, and I was probably held up there for maybe an hour and a half. because everybody was like, "Oh my god, it's everywhere next to Alphonse." And
so you were meant to do this.
I guess so.
Just first time, and it's like
I was in high school at the time and just really shy, and I was just like, "Oh, okay, I'll just stand here.
I'll just stay right here and not move until you guys tell me I can move."
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And that picture was taken on my 3DS because I did not have a cell phone.
Oh yes, the 3DS pictures are crazy.
Yeah, they go hard. But so I was just kind of doing it for fun, casually, only at Anime Expo because I wasn't aware that there were other conventions at all. And it took me about 3 or 4 years to realize that there was a word for cosplay, because people would come up to me and they'd say, "Hey, I like your cosplay," and I thought I was just mishearing them. Yeah, I was like, "What the heck is that? Like my costume? Is that what you meant to say?" Like, until I finally had asked somebody, I was like, "What is cosplay?" And they looked at me and they said, like, what the thing that you're doing right now? Like, what do you mean? Yeah, and after I graduated high school, I worked at a costume and corset house just because I had met them while I was modeling, actually, and I got along really, really well with the designer, and she had told me, "Hey, I'm looking for someone I just mesh with really well. Like, I don't care if you don't know how to sew. I will teach you. But if we're going to be spending all day, every day together, we need to have the same creative mindset. We need to mesh really well together. That's what matters the most to me. I will build up your skills from the ground up." And she was also willing to work around my crazy college schedule, which is it's impossible to find a job as a full-time student. Oh my goodness.
Listen. Yeah.
So I was like, sure. I had no intention to get into sewing at all whatsoever. But, hey, I needed the money, and it ended up becoming my passion, oddly enough.
Wow, that's crazy. That's awesome.
I mean, I just feel like all the pieces of the puzzle really just fit into place. And it was like, this is so when did you know that, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing? Like, I know for a fact that this is for me.
I would say kind of like midst of the pandemic, oddly enough. I had just graduated from college, and I had an internship actually lined up with the Nike shoes. And that had all just completely fell apart. I went to school for apparel production, actually. Okay. Yeah. Wow. So not like fashion design or anything, like mass production, essentially. Yeah. So big heavy machinery and technical patterns and calculating how much thread costs by the gram. Not very exciting stuff, but so the pandemic happened. Everything got canceled, no internship whatsoever. Yeah. And so I essentially just started focusing more on cosplay because there's nothing else to do. So I hopped on TikTok and I started crafting more and more. And eventually I ended up getting a lot more jobs out of it too. Just, filming cosplay from my house. Yeah. And I wasn't expecting it to become my full-time job until, I was actually making a decent amount off of it. And my parents were a little bit concerned as well, the whole starving artist thing. Yeah. But when my first paycheck came in, they were like, "Okay, yeah, you can do it."
Okay. There's no more starving going on.
You're fine.
You're just an artist now.
Exactly. But again, just purely by chance. Again, not my intention at all. I wasn't I'm going to strive to do this for a living. This is going to be my job. It was very much okay, this is what we're doing now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so it sounded like you said you were modeling before you started getting into this. How did that start as well? So when did you start modeling, and why did you start modeling?
Yeah, I started modeling when I was 16, actually, a little young, but my friend at the time in high school was an aspiring photographer. So I would just kind of, we'd dress up and I'd model for her on the weekends just for fun. And then I had gotten scouted at one point by an agency and didn't end up going with the agency. But I was like, you know what, if I'm if I have unique enough of features to, be scouted, then I should go and, try to model a little bit, right? And it was really nice money on the side for sure. As you can see, my hair is really short and whatnot. I don't have a whole lot of care about my hair, and the main thing that I was doing hair shows. So yeah, a lot of hair shows, a lot of runways. So they would be like, "Who's down to get their hair buzzed and dyed bright green? Like, we'll give you like $7,000." I was like, "Me, do it to me. I don't give a damn." Yeah, they pay a lot. They pay a lot.
That's
like,
wild.
Especially if it's the ugly stuff, because a lot of girls, a lot of models were so like, self-conscious about how they looked in their hair and just how, like, everything at all times. And I was down for anything. So I would go in there and be like, "Yo, you can make my head look like a tennis ball. I'm cool with it."
I'm sure that helped you out a lot as far as 100%. Getting more jobs.
So, like, I had, like, there weren't a whole lot of mixed race models either. So I was picked a lot of like avant-garde or like interesting like magazine pieces and stuff like that. It's not typical modeling like you would expect for a catalog or whatnot, or just anything that you would see. It was a lot of like small odd jobs for either aspiring fashion designers or for hair shows. So yeah, that was just kind of like my job on the side. And then I had met my costume designer through that. She was looking for models with interesting features, and I was like, "Hi, me. I look like a little weirdo."
Pick me.
Pick me.
Not a little weirdo. Why would you say that?
A little weirdo. I grew up in a very white neighborhood, and not a whole lot of people looked like my sister or I. We weren't quite Asian enough to fit in with the Asian community. We weren't quite white enough to fit in with the white community. Yeah. So yeah, it was always just kind of. I got asked a lot by the older folks, like, "Oh, what are you? Like, where are you from?" Right?
Boy, back in the day, they did not care.
No, they did not give a damn. And it's just a question I've been used to being asked over the years. Yeah. But nowadays, there's a lot more, mixed race people. And so, almost never get asked now. But growing up, my dad was stopped multiple times by law enforcement, especially because they didn't think that we were his kids. They were, "Excuse me, sir." They were like, "Hey, is that your dad?" Like, very accusing. I'm like, "Yeah, that's my dad."
Yeah,
he's very white. He's extremely white.
That's crazy. I mean, we got celebrities been adopting kids for forever. We like, right? We've been doing this.
Yeah, it's so odd. But okay, like a small side tangent. But
we're here for it all.
My like, just imagine like an old white businessman. Like that's dad. That's my dad. There you go. And one year we had booked. I can't remember what year of Anime Expo it was, but we were working at the League of Legends Star Guardian booth one year, which was really fun. Oh, nice. And it was a job that I had for both me and my sister. And my dad now has kind of come more into the understanding of what we do for a job. And he was like, "I've never seen you work before. I'd like to come on down." And Riot, being the gracious hosts that they were like, "Oh yeah, tell your dad to come on down. That'll be so fun. Awesome. We'll give him a ticket." Awesome. Right? Yes, and that's, you guys have been to Anime Expo, right?
So we haven't been to Anime Expo,
really?
But man, we can get into that. We can get into that.
Okay. But you're familiar with the whole the con scene, like the types of people that you see going to a con, right? Yeah. And my dad shows up in his business casual and like his tie and like, his regular suit slacks and whatnot. And I think when he gets to me, he just looks confused. And I'm like, "Oh, did you kind of like walk around, explore? Like, is it not your thing?" And he's like, "No, I've been stopped maybe like 10 times. People asking me if I'm a voice actor or like somebody important." And they're like, "Are you like, a director? Like, what do you do, sir? Are you, you're important, right?"
See, he's got to learn to lean into that. Just like,
you got to lean into that
of the opportunity that he was just given.
A lot of people had assumed he was a voice actor because he just stuck out like a sore thumb.
Well, if he would have leaned into that, he probably would be so co-executive.
He would have been a voice actor.
He would have been a voice actor.
I could see it. That would have been kind of hype.
That is so dope.
That's so cool. No, we to go back to the expo thing. Just with work, the work that have played for the NFL for the past 7 years. Well, I guess 8 years now. And so fall, spring, like all year is taken up except for like the spring, really.
Yeah.
And then I have 4 kids upstairs. So like the only con I really get to go to at this point that we've been doing is MomoCon, and it's kind of like right at its perfect timing for me. Everything else, when it's every other con, like especially the big ones, are during either training camp or during the season, so I can't really get out and go, unfortunately. But it's seeming like my career is coming to an end shortly. So once that happens and things change, then hopefully we'll get to explore some more cons. So we'll see what happens.
Very cool.
We'll see what happens. What?
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me know, like, if when you decide to come on down or go to one.
Oh, listen, trust me. Once free time happens, I'm going to be at every con, everywhere.
Yeah.
Listen, I have always said, Joe, like, I want your career to continue into your 50.
Yeah,
but
honestly,
if it just so happens that it doesn't, we will be hitting every
waiting with open arms.
I'm like, listen,
with arms wide open, like we're going to.
My retirement celebration is going to be me buying passes to every con that I want to go to.
That's the way to do it.
So, you've talked about your sister, right? As far as Stumpy Roots, right? And also Stumpy Shoots, right? Which is awesome. So she's taken photography for you. She's cosplayed with you. It's really awesome. And even I've heard you speaking in one of your videos that your mom helped with some of the work as well, like creating some of the crafts. What is it like?
Chainsaw Man.
The Chainsaw Man. Yeah. What is it like working with family and I guess, and I don't know if I want to put this on you, but what your dream job in a sense, what you're passionate about, what your creative juices love doing. Like, what is it like working with family and having them by your side throughout that whole process, right? Because a lot of people, especially in this industry, right? Like, we have this passion for being nerds in a sense, and our family doesn't always understand that. They're not like, they're like, oh, okay, cool. Like, that's cute, right? That's cool that you do that on the side. Like, what are you really doing, right? Or like, that's just weird, and why do you do that, right? But for you, it's the complete opposite. They are a part of what you do. So tell us what that's like, being able to enjoy what you do with your family.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's one of my, one of the things I'm most thankful for sure, is just having family members that not only also enjoy what I do, but support it wholeheartedly. And my mom in particular has always just been down to, help out and whatnot. And back when I was still working out of that studio in California, not to go too deep into it, but there was a point where my.
By the way, I'm sorry, not to cut you off. You're allowed to go as deep as you want to. Okay, so whatever you want to share, you share. Sorry, my bad.
Oh no, you're fine. But there was a point where my boss had gotten ill, unfortunately, and I had to run the whole business by myself, which was crazy.
I bet.
I think I was like 22, 23 at the time. Wow. So that was stressful. So I took a break from college very briefly, and my mom actually came in and she helped me run the studio. So she was like, I'm not doing anything. I'm retired. Like, teach me how to hand stitch. I can do it. And I was
okay. Okay, cool.
So she was always super down to just, help out and, do what needs to be done. And she, that's the weird thing about my mom and Stumpy in particular. They really enjoy the really small, repetitious, monotonous tasks of doing the same thing over and over and over again. Could it be me? I hate doing that stuff.
It's like, perfect. I'll teach you so I don't have to do it anymore.
There you go. You want to sand this tiny little plastic piece for the next 10 hours? Be my guest. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Oh man. So
awesome.
Yeah, and with Stumpy in particular, she's always been creative as well. But same thing with the pandemic, kind of changed everything for her, I want to say. And she was planning to be a music major and teach at one point.
Hey, Pete. Preston was a music major.
So I am very cool. I have a degree in piano performance.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. I can't remember what my sister's degree is exactly. I can't remember the name, but she was a flute player, flute, piccolo, piano as well.
Oh, yeah. One of the hardest woodwinds to play.
Yes. But after the pandemic and just everything now in the teaching community just going to absolute
Yeah.
like craziness. She was like, I don't think this is like a suitable position for me to pursue currently. And I was like, okay, well, in the meantime, do you want to help me out with my stuff? Like, I need, an extra pair of hands. I need a photographer. And at the time, I was just doing I was just getting so much work, crazily enough, just because I think everybody being locked inside and there not being any cons or conventions, a lot of these companies were like, push out advertisements to the cosplayers. So a lot of the cosplayers just got really, really busy. So she had helped me with that and just found that she had such a knack for it, and still going strong. Freaking 6 years later.
That's awesome. That's
crazy.
awesome.
Yeah.
So speaking of, go ahead, Joe.
No, I was gonna say, did she have a passion for taking pictures or anything like that beforehand, or that just came like you're like, hey, I need someone to help take pictures or stuff like
that?
That's
pictures
awesome.
for me. You down?
Because her pictures are great. She does a phenomenal job.
Yeah, I just wrote down a few of y'all's, like the Rosie and oh my god, what's the guy's name from
Alistair.
Yes.
Yes.
Crazy. I think Gone and Killua was another one that I saw. It was the Okaroon and Momo that was like
the reels you guys have done with those ones are hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. The last one with the Turbo Granny mask.
Yes.
Dying.
Oh man, I have like that little brain rot in my head where I'm like, this would be hilarious. I have like this whole oh my goodness, it's Stubby makes fun of me for this. She's like, you're so old, you use notes on your phone. But
I use notes on my phone.
Yeah, I'll come up with like here's I want to do Sonic cosplay eventually, but it's just like all of my drafts and like ideas that I have for like little videos.
That's awesome. Like you have it there, so when it's time to do it, click and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, this would be so funny.
Sorry,
just save ideas and write little notes. And
Pete's even older in the sense that he likes to take notes on paper, pen and paper.
I don't even like to type it. I have to write it.
No, that's fair. I do that as well sometimes.
Designing, sewing, 3D printing, making wigs. What is your favorite part about crafting that you enjoy the most? And flip side, why don't you like doing wig designs like that? What makes that your least favorite? Because I'm just looking at you got 80 plus wigs. You have a wig wall. You also have a wig corner. And I also love the fact that you give a shout out to all of the people that help or that have helped get a part into your wigs. Rich Chan, Wisperia, Umbra wigs. I love the fact that you give shout outs to the people that help create your cosplays. But why you don't like them?
Of course, I mean, we artists have to support each other 100%. I want all of my artist friends to get all of the work and be successful and always at all times. But my favorite part about I would say it changes depending on the project. Okay. But lately I've been really enjoying making props just because I feel like every project that I do, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And so that's been kind of like the new experience for me is just prop building. So I've been having a lot of fun experimenting with that and building props lately. So I'd say that's probably my favorite part. Wig work in particular is just it's so finicky. Like depending on where you buy the wig and how how it's dyed, or like down to how many different little hairs are like sewn into the wefts, like all affects how the wig reacts or is styled and how it reacts to heat or crimps. And it's just impossible to tell like sometimes how a wig's gonna turn out when you're not used to working with that type of medium in particular. And on top of that, when I'm sewing or prop making or whatnot, I'm working a lot in flat patterns. So when I'm kind of putting something together, it's going from flat into 3D, and I'm usually aware of like, okay, I don't really have to pay much attention to here because this seam's going to be covered, or this is going to be sewn into allowance. Nobody's going to see it. Whereas you're looking at a wig from every little conceivable angle. There's no bad side. That drives me nuts. I'm like, how was I supposed to know that you were gonna get this particular shot of looking up the back of my neck and you can see that I did a crap job there? Like, dude. It's messy. It gets everywhere, and then sometimes it, like, you know, depending on how the wind's blowing, the styling falls apart. It's not for me. I'd rather pay my talented friends to do it for me, so I don't.
That's what
need
talented friends are for.
So real quick, another side question. The makeup. Do you do your own makeup, or do you have like other? Okay, so question. All right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Joe.
No,
you're good, bro. You're good, bro.
So it was two in particular that I'm like, how do you do this?
Mm-hmm.
There was a JoJo's and there was a Spider-Man Miguel.
Of course.
How in the Hello Kitty? Because I want to cosplay as a JoJo.
I knew that JoJo's what you were talking about too.
That's who I want to do. But how do you do that?
Well, I can't take all the credit for the JoJo's, unfortunately. And JoJo's in particular, I had cosplayed it for. That was one of the cosplays that I did for my friend, Will Kushwal. And he has done JoJo cosplays before, and I was asking him, like, how do I go about, you know, the line placement and the shading, and he kind of helped guide me in the right direction. But obviously, I kind of had to flip it because our melamine standards are very different.
Yeah. A lot different.
Yeah, a lot different. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to like take that and translate it onto my face. But honestly, the one thing that I noticed with the JoJo characters in particular is that the highlight and the shading is flipped in an odd way. So where the natural contour of the cheek would be like, where this would be darker in the anime, this is highlighted, and then this is actually shaded darker, which is very, very unique to that JoJo style in particular. So I made sure to try to nail that specifically, and also just practice in a steady hand with all the lines and whatnot really helps kind of bring the whole piece together. And I don't want to brag, but that was my first attempt, and I was like, looks good to me.
It looked great. It looked great.
Again, that is just
like, I think I nailed it. I'm not gonna knock a little gift horse in the mouth. Like, just, we're running with this.
That's how you know it's made for you. Like, what? Man, I love it. That's so dope. That's so dope.
Yeah, I would love to throw on Kakuin again and get Chris to throw on Avdol. We have some ideas that we wanted to do on a pole, like a pole dancing pole. I just think it'd be funny. And
Joe, you know who Kakuin is, right?
Yeah. That would be
the favorite part in JoJo that Joe absolutely loves.
The cherry scene. Yeah.
Love that guy. He's so silly.
How did you decide when to make your own cosplays and reach out to like other amazing crafters? Like, when did you start that venture?
I would say early on when I started cosplaying, it definitely wasn't accessible at all. So I had to make my own stuff for the longest time, just because, patterning and just there weren't like stores to buy costumes at. Mostly out of necessity, really. I was just like, I want to cosplay this character. It has to be done from scratch. And now that it's become this huge industry now, which is awesome. Love to see that.
Yeah.
Where there's multiple places to buy cosplays at a really affordable price. There's multiple tutorials online now. And whenever I'm crafting something, I always want it to be to the best of my ability, for sure. So if I think that somebody can provide something that I can't like better with my own hands, that's usually when I'll reach out and I'll be like, hey, could you make this for me? It's mainly wigs, but mainly wigs. I'm like, hey, you free? You can make this wig for me.
Needed in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks. Yeah, but I have a couple of wig makers on standby that are familiar with my crazy schedule where I'll get asked last minute a lot for these things, and it's so funny. One of them's all the way in Russia, and they're always down. Mad props. Here, I'll shout them out. In Cosplay Brand, I love you.
Perfect.
I love you, Janet. I'll hit her up and I'll be like, hey, I need this by the end of this week. She's like, I'll do it.
She's all, hey, shout out Janet.
Shout out Janet.
Janet's awesome.
That's crazy. Okay, then that because like I said, we talked, well, at least I think we talked about it before getting on screen, but you do most of your stuff, if not all of your cosplays, either for yourself or for other companies, right? Not necessarily for personal asks. How does that process work? One, how did that happen? For like, how did the first instance of, a Riot Games or whoever hit you up like, hey, can you make this for us? But like, how does that process work? Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, I need a cosplay for a con that's coming up in, we got MomoCon in 2 months, right? So I'm like, hey, Akemi, can you make me a, whatever, a Sanji leg on fire for this next cosplay that I want to do, right? Like that's yeah, because that's literally what I'm about to be trying to do at this next time. But and I'm not a Sanji fan at all. I'm a Zoro guy. So, but but yeah, we promised some friends that we would cosplay characters we don't truly like. So Sanji is the character that I'll be going. I'm looking forward to being full in character and having fun with it.
That's gonna be sick. Who's gonna cosplay Zoro?
I don't think anyone. I don't know. No. We'll see what happens. We'll see. I did do Zoro last year.
The first, no,
2 years ago. 2 years ago. Yeah.
There's this one art that's just been living in my head, rent free, that's been blowing up on Twitter. That this artist drew of Zoro with like 5 sword style.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, yeah.
I was like, you have to do that.
Oh, Joe.
Yeah. Listen.
So what's good, Joe?
Yeah. You can do that.
If Akemi makes me 5 swords, I'll do it.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Exactly. Oh darn!
I'm sure you have the grip strength. You can manage it.
Clench them cheeks, Joe.
Anyway, what is that? Yeah, I guess one. How did that first happen for you? And two, what's that process like of being reached out again 3 weeks into 3 weeks with the deadline? And just tell us that process and what it's like to work for brands as far as making cosplays versus doing it for personal reasons or for someone who just wants to cosplay for a con.
Yeah. So how it first started out was I got hit up by Riot Games, and I had done quite a few League of Legends cosplays at that point. And what was the first job I ever did for them? I want to say I did a commercial for them for I think it was Clash specifically.
Okay. Yeah, you were in the commercial
in my Vi cosplay. Yeah, I think it's still on YouTube. Oddly.
Yeah, I need to find that.
Plop it. Yeah, right there.
I want to say that was the first one, but I'm not sure. And then because they were just kind of looking for cosplayers to either fill out the background or kind of fill out the commercial essentially. And I had done a couple more after that for them. And it was essentially more of like a word of mouth thing. But for companies like Riot Games, they usually reach out, once, twice a year. And they'll be like, hey, if you're, in the LA area and you're a League of Legends cosplayer or an Arcane cosplayer, like, drop your work in here. And, potentially we'd love to like hit you up and work with you. They've always been very open about reaching out to the community and giving cosplayers opportunities to work with them, which has always been really, really cool. And I want to say that my first one was like 8 years ago. So yeah, long time ago for sure. And since then it's mainly been word of mouth, or I've already cosplayed from their property previously, and they'll reach out to me and they'll be like, oh my god, hey, really love that cosplay that you did of this one character, would you be down to make another one for us? And just kind of rolls like that. Yeah. So it's a lot more chill than you'd expect. Okay. A lot of people kind of assume like, oh, do I need like an agency? Do I reach out to them personally? And I would say if you're passionate about it and you've already cosplayed from their properties prior, that helps a lot for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So all of the companies that I worked with, I've almost always have cosplayed from a prior property to them previously. It ends up on their radar and they're like, oh yeah, like she's also done like, booth work and prop work and everything else. We like the style. Bandai Namco in particular, even though I'm not, I haven't cosplayed from all of their properties, they just like my work. So more often than not, they'll come back around and they'll be like, oh, hey, would you be down to make this now? Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. I would love to. Yeah. So yeah, it's mainly just kind of like word of mouth and, getting your name out there and whatnot. It's a lot simpler than a lot of people would assume it is, for sure. Yeah. And as far as I'm aware, my other friends that I've also worked with in this business, same thing. Like, I have one friend that's really into Final Fantasy and has always cosplayed from Final Fantasy, and now Final Fantasy always hits her up, and they're like, "Hey, you want to make this for us? That'd be kind of cool, right? You like us, like that'd be kind of sick, yeah. You like us, for sure, really yeah."
Okay. Cool. That's awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, I definitely would have assumed there was a little bit more chaotic and loops to jump through to kind of get that going. But it sounds like
brands.
Honestly, sometimes I'll just get like an Instagram DM and they'll be like, "Hey, are you free right now? Like, I could send you like an NDA within the hour, but like, are you free?" I'm like, "Yeah. What do you need?"
Yeah,
I'll send it over.
But also, like,
the email. That's it.
Your work speaks for itself. Like, I think because I think a lot of people have to, and I don't want to say that to knock anybody else's talent, but I think sometimes a lot of people have to go through those hoops more so than others. But for you, like, your talent is in what you do is just that great to where you don't have to jump through these hoops. We want to work with Akemi. Have you seen what she's doing over there? DM her. Get over here.
Yeah, I'd be down. I just like making things with my hands, honestly. I've even said, like, everybody's like, "Oh, if you weren't doing cosplay, what you do?" I'm like, I don't know. As long as I'm able to make stuff with my hands, I'd be happy. Just love creating things, like being crafty. Yeah,
your work is amazing.
Yeah, no, it's definitely top tier. Definitely top tier.
Thank you very much.
Cool. You and even just now, right? You mentioned your friend that's big into Final Fantasy. For one thing that we love about this community, right? The anime community, cosplay community, gaming community, like it brings a lot of people together by mutual interests, mutual loves and passions, right? And so you've already name dropped a whole bunch of friends, right? You named obviously Chris, some other friends that we know of yours that will Kumar, Perry, Stella Chu is another one that I don't know her personally, but I love her work. She's hilarious as well.
Yeah, top tier.
With a lot of your friends that you have in that also, whether cosplay or just love anime as well. Did you have some of these friends already before you kind of got into this industry, or did they come because of you being phenomenal cosplayer, phenomenal crafter? How did I mean, obviously maybe a mix as well, but I'm always curious, right? Because I'm thinking, were you friends with people like, "Hey, let's do this together," kind of thing, or "Hey, I enjoy this and you enjoy this, like let's move forward in this direction," or did you find those people because you moved in a certain direction?
I basically all of the friends that I have made have all been solely through this community, which is crazy. Yeah. I unfortunately don't talk to anybody from my high school or college. Just kind of like for me, school was more like kind of get in, get out, get the degree, more or less. Also for my fashion degree, I went to a fashion school, and all the girls in their Gucci Prada handbags and their high heels, and I'm showing up in my Shadow the Hedgehog sweatpants. Like,
I love it. I love it. Listen, I'm here to be comfy and get work done. I'm not trying to go out. Yeah.
I'm here to just get my degree and go, dude.
Absolutely.
For sure. But so yeah, no, all of my friends have been solely through this community, which I'm very, grateful for as well. Like, I met Chris through Spider-Verse stuff because I was really into cosplaying Spider-Verse at the time, and I had made the Hobie Brown's guitar at one point.
I watched the video of you making that.
What? Ridiculous.
Like sometimes I just get that bug and I'm like, oh, how cool would it be to have that on my wall right now?
Yeah, that prop wall is insane as well. I know P brought up the wig wall, but the prop wall is awesome as well.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, but that had popped off a lot more than I had anticipated for sure. And a lot of people were messaging me like, "Oh my gosh, like I want to make one." I'm like, "Yeah, no, pop off, like make your own." And Chris had messaged me and he was like, "Hey, I know we don't know each other, but I'm trying to make this for Anime Expo, and I was wondering if you could send me the files that you use for the stickers." And I was like, and he's like, "How much?" And I was like, "Man, don't worry about it. Like, I'll make you a deal. Like, I'm gonna be at Anime Expo too. Like, let me see it in person. Come say hi to me." I was like, yeah, please, I would love to see it in person. Like, that's the deal. I will send these to you right now if you come and say hi. And he's like, "Yeah, deal." And then we had like met up very briefly. I got to see it in person in all of its glory, like amazing Hobie Brown cosplay. It's so funny because he's like, is that overused? Like, am I cosplaying Hobie too often? I'm like, no, man, just keep doing it till you die. It looks awesome.
Right,
like,
go full into it until
you're just Hobie at this point.
Exactly. No, he really is though. Like, he really is. I picture Hobie cosplay.
I'm not gonna lie. Every time, yep, nope.
100%. And after that, because Anime Expo is just a crazy con. Normally I kind of throw feelers out there and I'm like, "Hey guys, if I see you, cool. If not, no big deal. No feelings hurt." I understand everybody's like running around and doing a million things.
Very large chaotic con for sure.
Yes, very large chaotic con. So afterwards, he was like, "Hey, I don't know if this is forward, but like, do you want to hang out? Like, not at a con?" I was like, "Yeah." And now he lives down the hall, like 5 feet away from me.
Did not know that. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, been living together for like a year now.
That's what's up. What? See, those are
the stories.
Yeah, those are what I'm talking about.
So we just really clicked, and we were like, "Damn!" And his lease was almost up, and we were like, "You want to come live with us? That'd be cool, right?"
He's like, "Yeah,
sure." So it's really fun. We get to like craft and like mash ideas together.
I was gonna say, yeah,
it's really fun to have a crafting buddy.
Yeah, because I mean, he does obviously a whole bunch of stuff, which now makes sense as to why you guys have done also so much together. Because you're right there.
Yeah, it's right there. I'm like, "Hey, you free?"
Knocks on the door. What you over here doing?
Yeah, like, come here.
Cool. No, because too, and kind of deviate a little bit, but like you have a team essentially that works with you and for you. Are they all people you knew beforehand? Were there some, obviously your sister, right, is like the main one that we know. I don't know if Chris is technically a part of the team as well, but like, how did you go about assembling a team behind you, or I guess with you, to help you make Akemi-kun cosplay like take off the way that it did?
Mm-hmm. Assemble the Avengers.
The Avengers of Akemi-kun cosplay.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was just again, like the community is so awesome. Me just reaching out to people that I was inspired by, or I just really like their work, and I was like, "Hey, like, would you be able to help me out with this, or would you be interested in collaborating on this project together?" And honestly, as simple as that. Again, my guy that does all of my 3D modeling for almost all of my props, almost everything, down to like even the buttons sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's all the teeth on the chainsaw man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does it all. He's amazing. But I would hit him up for like just small projects here and there. And now it's so funny. He's like, "I'm always down." He's like, "Whatever you need, smallest thing, like hit me up." And so funny. I even have like a NDA with him now because I'll send him like top secret files from like companies, and he'll understand like immediately. I'll be like, "Hey, I need this done as soon as possible." And he's like, "Cool, I'll get it done tonight." And it's like this huge like 5 foot like giant thing. But honestly, just kind of like reaching out to people that I really like their work, and then obviously, I hope so. They really like mine.
Yeah, if they don't, they're crazy. So
they're crazy. Yeah. So obviously, no. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no. That's all. Yeah, that's just how it is, and just reaching out to people I thought were cool, and also if I didn't reach out to them first, they reached out to me.
And I think that's it. So not deviating, kind of staying on the same track. I know networking is incredibly important. you networking with different people and being able to branch out and do things that you love together. Is there any advice you can give to people, especially people who are nervous, shy, about reaching out and just taking that leap to say, you know what, I'm going to actually try it. Maybe it'll work out for me. Mainly also speaking to myself, because sometimes I can overthink.
I was waiting for you to get to that
No,
part.
no, I'm so serious. Sometimes, like, before I DM, I will overthink the crap. Does it sound right? Am I being too? Can you speak to that a little bit and maybe give a little bit of advice of how to network and how you go about networking?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I understand that completely as well. It's nerve-wracking, right? But there's no shame in just sending out a message or throwing out a DM or leaving a comment on something, and even just physically at a con too. I'll get tons of people telling me like, "Oh, I saw you at the con, and I was too nervous to come up and say hi." It's like, no, please do. Like, I love that so much. And I love talking to new people all the time, but as an introvert, that's crazy to say, but just everybody in this community and this space, we're all just nerds, and we all love these properties and these shows and these characters, and it's so special to be able to share that with other people. Yeah. So there's no harm. It's just a DM, and you never know, right? Like how Chris and I met. It was literally just him being like, "Hey, can I steal those stickers from you, bro?" And I was like, "Yes, you may, but I gotta see those in person."
No, absolutely.
It's so simple, and there's no harm in it either. If it doesn't go anywhere, no big deal, and if it does, cool, right? And I've met most of my friends in this community that way. They've either reached out to me and they were like, "Hey, you're really cool, and you also like League of Legends. We're doing like a Star Guardian group. Do you want to be a part of it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do." That sounds awesome. Just stuff like that. It's so like, in the grand scheme of things, it's so simple.
It really is.
Yeah,
it's so simple. It's so sweet, and I think that's also how I had met Stella as well. Okay. Through Riot Games. She was like, "Hey, I need like Riot Games cosplayers," and you showed up in my search feed. You down? I'm like, yeah, I'm down.
Yes. Stella does some amazing work. She does some absolutely amazing work.
Oh, she's amazing. Also, very, very savvy businesswoman, I will say.
Yeah.
Like, she's awesome. Love her.
Oh. I was gonna say, P, how did we meet, Preston? Since
how did you guys meet?
Yeah. Go ahead, P.
Oh my God! So we're really gonna do this? So Joe slid in my DMs, like legit. Because honestly, so there was a post of like, it was Team A, Team B. It was a Team A that was anime and Team B that was anime. And one of Joe's favorite anime is Hunter x Hunter. And so he messaged me and was like, I would actually switch this, and then I would go with Team A or Team B, whichever one.
It was so hard because like Full Metal and like some other great stuff was on one side. The only thing I needed was Hunter x Hunter on that. So I'm like, bro, just put this over there. We're good. Like,
and so when he met, I was like, verified who is this?
Who is this guy? Who is this man?
And now legit, what, 7 years?
7 years later, something like that.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's so, see, again, it's so simple. It's so simple, so special.
I responded to a story. Like, that was literally how this happened. So.
That's all it is, yeah. How funny. Like, with Hunter x Hunter, too, that's Stumpy's realm, actually. It's not my realm at all. Yeah, I've seen the whole anime, but just, like, through her. And okay. I think that's so funny because our tastes are so different as well, and we're very different as like just people in general. Like, I think there was a Nintendo Direct that came out today, and it
was either today or yesterday, but yeah.
And I came back to her and I was like, "Wow, that was kind of shit." And she was like, "How dare you? The Nintendo Switch is dying. This was really good for their last one. What is wrong with you?" And I was like, I wasn't interested in anything. She was like, "Samus, Metroid, like what are you talking about?" I'm like, "No,
Oh, she let you have it. I got it.
100%. Cool. Yeah. I didn't care about, what was it, like not Miitopia. What was it called? Tomodachi Life.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't even know that was the thing.
I remember that. I played it like 10 years ago. She was like, "Tomodachi Life? What?" Like, it was like the next.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I'm playing Monster Hunter right now. Like, I
No.
don't give a damn about Tomodachi
No
Life,
way.
dude. Like,
I
no.
saw some people freaking out because like it was the last game that they announced at the end of it, and like people were
Mm-hmm.
freaking. They ended with Tomodachi. I was like,
Yeah.
I've literally never heard of this game.
I was like, that's
Yeah.
what you're gonna end the direct with, is freaking Tomodachi Life. Oh my god, she was very excited. I was just,
Oh, I to that point, deviate a little bit. We did a live, and Joe, we do like a reel of the day, and Joe was so excited that Hunter x Hunter was coming back. Like they were doing new
yeah.
episodes. He was just so like, I'm really excited about this. And they did the reel, and we went through the reel, and me and it was another guest, shout out Corey. We were just sitting there like, okay.
Bro, and then they started cracking jokes.
And then we cracked on it for
Oh!
about a good 10
And
minutes.
so I legit, like, my heart legit hurt. I was
Oh,
extremely
no.
upset.
That's
So,
so funny.
So I get it. So I want to rehash that joke. Go ahead.
yeah. Let's put that away because let's not go back to that.
I'm guilty of that as well, 100%.
Absolutely.
I think Batman Ninja dropped recently, and Stumpy was all like, yo, we gotta watch it. And I'm like, I remember the last Batman Ninja, bro. I'm like, if you're cool with me shitting on it the whole time, then sure, I'll watch Batman Ninja with you. I heard it wasn't bad, but I'm like,
I haven't seen it yet, but okay, yeah. But that's your job. Oh, okay, hold on. Are you big sister or little sister?
big sister.
That's your job.
100%.
Big sister.
That's it.
You're
100%.
doing your responsibility. You know.
Oh, Joe, I'm doing my responsibility.
Yeah, you are. You are the old man.
I would say out of the two of us, though, Stumpy's more brutal, though, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
One thing we haven't touched on. Obviously, we touched on the love for anime and Sonic and all that stuff. We touched on your journey. You're VTuber. You got a VTube, which I'm always curious. Like, what was why VTube? Why not just? And I'm trying to ask this in a way that is not. I'm not trying to necessarily offend in a sense, but I'm just always curious. Like the reason for VTubing versus just like we see you here now as you yourself. You cosplay a bunch. Your face is out there for the world to see. Everyone knows who you are. Why the reason for VTube? I'm not again in a sense of like not. I think it's cool. I honestly thought about like maybe if I ever start streaming, kind of having a little persona character, maybe VTubing as well. But I was always curious like to why people go that route versus being yourself, especially when your face is already out there.
Yeah. For me, I thought it was just not an option because the way that I was introduced to VTubing were for people that wanted to stay anonymous in the community.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was like, okay, so this not for me. But then my sister had gotten a VTube model and she was like, oh, like it's just fun.
Okay.
I just like having a little avatar. It's cute. And I was like, oh, okay. And one of the reasons I had kind of fell out of streaming in the past was just kind of, when I'm playing games, I'm very much like myself. And, I like to be able to chill and chat with the community, but also just kind of being physically on for, 4 or 5 hours at a time is just so mentally draining, especially, introverted.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
For sure. So I was like, okay, this might be something that I want to try. It's, I could still be present and I could still, have play games for long hours and not worry about, me kind of ending up like this, 10 hours into it because you can't see.
Yeah.
I could be scratching my balls. No one would know. It's great to have that freedom, honestly.
No, okay, yeah.
That is so true.
It is a chill time. And honestly, for whatever reason, there's a large majority of the community that prefers the VTuber model just because it's more fun to interact with as well. I have little modes where you can throw bits or little emotes at her and she'll get knocked around a bit and you can change her expressions and there's a whole lore and a background that I've built around it and it's just more engaging in a sense as well. But also I would say in terms of cosplay, I've kind of shot myself in the foot a little bit because everything that I do, I've been told I look very different. depending on the cosplay.
Yeah.
To the point where out of cosplay, almost like entirely unrecognizable in a sense as well.
Okay.
So yeah, there's also that to that aspect as well, where a lot of people have associated me with a very particular cosplay or a particular way I present myself in a certain costume, and this is just not for them, which is fine. But
Gotcha. Okay. Got
for
it.
sure. But to each their own.
Yeah.
But for me, it's mainly it's fun. It's just a fun time.
Okay, good. And I'm happy that that's the case. So obviously, like you mentioned that last bit, so whatever to those people. But
whatever.
Anyway,
Yeah, we've been through that.
we actually we talked a lot of. It was funny because we had Perry on for a live once for the pod. Her and Thousand Honey. I'm not sure if you know Thousand Honey. Yeah,
I have met her one time. We had one very luxurious spa day together.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
And that's how we met. Just freaking chilling in like 20 different jacuzzis throughout the day.
That's awesome.
Excellent way to bond.
No, absolutely.
I find like my first bonding sessions with people are so strange. Again, like bringing up Chris one more time, the first time we ever hung out that wasn't at a convention, we went to a torture museum together.
Wait, what?
That is a great way to break the ice.
Really good way to break the ice. So like, how cool are you?
Oh, that looks cool.
Is that a guillotine? Yeah. We like it.
Oh man, that's wild. That's okay.
That's hilarious.
No, I brought them up to say like there was a time I forgot exactly who I was watching, but I see a lot of times there are female streamers who are on there that constantly get dealt with stupid stuff that they shouldn't be dealing with from other men playing the games or in the comment section, and so. To those people, we kind of talked about, like, I wanted to bring it to light that was like happening. Chill, like, like there are so many anime. Some of our favorite anime are written by women, right? Mm-hmm. Some of our favorite characters, some of the best characters in shows are women. Some of our favorite manga and stuff like that are written by women as well. So, like, wanted to bring that to space. Again, and I brought up like creators, and that's how she brought you up. We were talking about other female creators in the space that were just doing phenomenal work, and so Perry brought you into it, right? I'm sorry that you have had to deal with some people who, it is, and I'm glad that you kind of brushed it off, and it is what it is. But like at the same time, it's irritating, even from the outside looking in. But cool. I'm glad that the reason you're doing it is because it was fun. Like that's really, and I was very curious to see if there were. So I was like, I know, again, like you mentioned, people do it to kind of stay anonymous or hide their face or the shy introvert or whatever. I'm like, Akemi's literally out here at booths and cosplaying for Bandai, like doing all kinds of stuff. She's got her own YouTube channel doing like the walkthroughs of how you make your stuff. So I was just kind of curious as to why you went into that. But for it does sound entertaining. Like you said, there's interaction levels that can happen with that that otherwise you can't do if it's just you yourself, right? So I do think that's fun, entertaining. And now I'm curious as to creating a VTuber.
I'm about to say that's a lot of fun, honestly.
Yeah, like you said, you even have like your own lore behind it, right? Like that's really, really cool to kind of create and build up to the story of who your character is, which is something I feel like we all would love to do, right?
It's just a good time. I think what you call it? Like Ludwig, I think he has his own VTuber model now, and I think Kaisenat made a VTuber model as well. Okay. Yeah, so it's just a thing to do right now as well. So yeah,
sweet. No,
that's a lot of fun.
Too. Yeah, good stuff.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that was. Is there anything? I guess what's your favorite part about being a VTuber outside of or even just streaming in general?
My favorite part. I want to say it's just been exploring a different community for sure, because I feel like the cosplay community is always growing, but also I've been in it for about 10 years, right? I've never kind of like ventured outside of it, and now I'm kind of being introduced to this new VTuber community, and it's funny that people are knowing me for my VTuber model now and not my cosplay stuff.
Awesome.
And it's just kind of funny. And then they'll be like, wait.
They're
the same person? Which I just think is hilarious. I find just like as a creator, I have my toes dipped into multiple different things. So I've kind of gotten to see the community from all sides, and having this new avenue to kind of be creative and meet new people has been a lot of fun.
So for us, talking about anime and how it impacts our lives is incredibly important to what we do, life with anime. So with that being said, is there any anime that has impacted your life, whether that is a series that got you through a hard time, or is there a character that you identify with, or maybe an anime series that taught you a life lesson? Do you have one for us?
And I want to interject because I know you brought up the Levi story before. So
I was going to go say something other than
another one. Okay,
she gave us one already. I'm like, dang, she already said it. Good. So now I need another one.
Okay, I can pull another one. I'm sure I can pull another one now. But yeah, Attack on Titan is definitely my favorite. I have I don't know if I can pull this up, but I have the Wings of Freedom on my arm.
Okay.
Love that. I'm looking at my shelf right now.
Yeah, I literally, people ask me questions like, "Hold on, let me look at my bookshelf real quick," and something stirs up in me.
I mean, Attack on Titan is just so incredibly special to me, for sure, and just the art style and found family and just humanity as a whole, and how he kind of portrays all the emotions just so vividly. It's just so powerful. And I would say Attack on Titan, that fun little question of if you could live in any anime world, or your favorite anime, would you? Hell no, absolutely not. No, are you kidding? That's the worst. Are you a horror show? Oh my god, absolutely not.
Okay. I thought you were going.
I thought you were finna go into another direction.
I need an explanation for
absolutely
this now.
Not. Yeah, no. But I think it's just so incredibly inspiring seeing how people can survive these circumstances and push through to do things that really matter to them, and that inspires me a lot. And when I was going through hard times too, Levi inspired me a lot, just because he's trucking, man, for sure. In terms of another anime that inspires me, I would probably say Demon Slayer as well.
Okay.
Really like Demon Slayer, yeah.
Okay.
Yes. But this is probably something that a lot of people won't agree with. My favorite character from Demon Slayer is Zenitsu, actually. Oh, really? Eh? Eh? Oh, yo, I get so much crap for that.
No,
I get so much crap.
I knew. When she said nobody, I was like, "Oh, here it is." Just say
I'd love to hear why.
Okay, excellent. So, Zenitsu, I have a little Zenitsu shrine over there as well. My little special boy. But he's annoying. He sucks, right? Just surface level, nobody likes him, and the whole community was like, "Screw this guy!" I hate him. There's just so much hate for him. But then, reading the manga and also learning about his backstory too, about how he just straight up didn't believe in himself, right? He was like, I don't want to, I can't, and just there's no way, right? And then having someone by his side being able to tell him you can and you will, and just being there to push him. And at first him not appreciating it, but then eventually being able to come into his own as a person, and use that opportunity that was given to him to do some genuine good. It reminds me very much of my own life in a way, or
yes.
My dad in particular was very very tough on me growing up, for good reason too. He was like, you're mixed, you're a woman, you need to be able to do your own thing and be yourself. And I was just very shy, very introverted, very shy, and I never ever wanted to go out of my comfort zone or do anything that I didn't know how to do or I wasn't good at. And he would force me, you're going to do this, you're going to compete. And when I was younger, I hated it so much. I did karate for 14 years. essentially against my will. Yeah.
Against my will.
Against my will.
Crazy. Yeah.
He was like, "You're not allowed to quit until you hit black belt." And sadly, I regret this sometimes. I did. As soon as the day I graduated black belt, I quit.
Oh, wow.
I was like, really, "Cool, see ya."
You were really not into. Dang,
I was not into it. I'm just not like a physically violent
to get to that level and just like, well,
yeah. Hi, people I've known all my life. See ya.
Wow.
Yeah, just did not. But like, didn't matter how much I like whined or cried or told him I didn't like it or didn't do it. He was like, "You need to. You have to." And now I've become so confident because of that. Right? There's never been a moment of someone coming to me with like a huge project and being like, "Hey, can you do this?" And me being like, "Oh, I don't know. Like, there's not a lot of time. I don't know if I have the skill set." I'd be like, "Yeah, probably. I'll try it." I bet I can.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and Zenitsu just kind of reminds me of that so much because he thinks he sucks, and he really doesn't. He's so strong, right? And it's just that special bond of having people there for you that push you through and like push you to be better. I really, really like that. And for him to be such like a crappy little guy on the surface, but underneath just be so good.
You know, I can, and I'll do this. I appreciate your take on Zenitsu. I appreciate your connection with him, but also being able to be like, no, he sucks.
He does.
But he's also so awesome at the same time. Like, I'm cool with that. Like that's fine. I'm one of those people who don't like Zenitsu, right? But for you, it's always fun for me to hear other people's connections to characters that I don't enjoy, and like it gives me a new perspective on those characters because they see them in a way that I don't originally see them in, and so now I'm like, okay, no, I see that. I see why they connect with that character. I see what it is they enjoy or what they see in that character, the character in them. I have a different appreciation for Zenitsu now. So P, I will stop because of Akemi. I will now stop hating on Zenitsu. Okay, P.
So let me just say, Akemi, you are welcome here anytime you want to come here. Anytime, you are so welcome. Thank you. No, that is essentially why I love Zenitsu, and even now I am still walking the path of me's. Am I good enough? Can I be confident enough to do some of the things that I want to do? Like I am still constantly at my old age, still walking that path. So that story resonates with me very well at my old age.
I love that.
So yes,
I feel like finding characters with superpowers or just being portrayed as like these incredible beings and being able to relate to them is such like a cool thing, right?
Yeah.
Because most of the time it's like, like, oh, I have the power of God, and it's just like, okay. What do you want me to do with that, bro?
Yeah, but I think that's like the whole point of why we start this podcast, and two, I want to focus on. We call them anime impacts, right? Like, there are so many characters in anime and gaming and cartoons and comics that like they are set apart. Like they're on this god tier level, but they're also still very human. At the same time, we can see ourselves in them, identify with them, and I think that's what we may not speak on a lot, but that's what draws us so much to these characters. Why why Levi is all over your room, right?
Yeah.
So like that for us is truly special and truly important, and want to definitely bring to light. So thank you for sharing.
Of course.
Great. Cool. All right, so we do what we call blind ranking. So basically how it works is it's 1 through 5, right? You have to rank each character that will give you. So let's say I'll give you Levi, right?
Okay.
And all you hear is Levi. And so you either got to put Levi at 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And then I'll keep giving you characters without knowing what's next. And basically, however your list finishes is your list of how you rate the characters, right?
Got it. Okay.
And so the goal is for us to stump you. Yes, but the goal is for you to also just be true to yourself. Don't second guess yourself and just put them where you think. And that typically in your favor works out.
Gotcha.
So cool.
Don't overthink it.
Don't overthink it. Just go with it.
First thing that comes to mind.
Yeah, first thing that comes to mind. And I will say, we've gotten a lot of people who overthink. So, and it's been fun for us because you put your favorite at 4. What were you thinking? Right? So cool. You ready? You good?
Ready.
As far as the rules? All right, cool. Sonic the Hedgehog blind ranking, Akemi-kun edition. Okay. All right. First character, Shadow the Hedgehog.
2.
Okay. Cream.
5. Love her, don't get me wrong, but
Okay.
she
Okay.
cutie.
Okay. Big the cat.
4.
Okay. All right, you got what, one and 3 left? All right. Silver.
3.
Okay. And then Sonic.
Yeah,
at
1.
number
Okay.
1.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
how I
that
would
is
have put them in there.
this is
it.
honestly
Nailed it.
the best I have seen anybody play this.
There was no deliberation. There was
I'm
no
a gamer.
nothing.
I'm
There was no
locked in.
thinking.
All right. Well, then with that, talk to us. Why? So we kind of talked about Sonic before, but why Shadow? Why is Shadow so high up on your list?
Okay. I think Shadow is just like a very interesting character as well, and just like his whole connection with loss and being able to like push past his own like negative thoughts just to do good, essentially. Oh man, there's some messed up comics out there. What friggin' Shadow the Hedgehog artist? When I find you, you're dead. But but technically, in the Sonic the Hedgehog universe, Shadow is immortal, and his whole theme of his grief is just like through loss. And there's a lot of artists out there that always portray him as living past everybody else and just being alone, always destined to like be alone.
Oh, my heart.
I know, it sucks. It sucks. It hurts me. There's just drawings of him like at Shadows or at Sonic's grave, like, you know, missing him and not quite remembering his face because it's been so long, and I'm like, ow!
It's your face,
Don't
but
do
blue.
that to me.
It's your face, but blue.
Oh, it's messed up.
I just got really
That's
sad.
crazy.
But
Okay.
him be able to press on essentially for to build a better world and be the savior of humanity, you know, after everybody's gone, is so cool. Guy's a badass. He's so cool. Love him. And yeah, his story is just so sad.
Yeah.
Ow.
So in a way, then very, and again, the especially in the more immortality aspect, right, of basically losing everybody and having to kind of start over every time and kind of, you know, better the world. It's very similar to your connection with Levi then.
Yes, very
as
much
well.
so.
Okay.
It's just
That makes a lot more sense. Yeah.
he's Levi with red stripes. He's Levi with hot rod flames, essentially.
And can run really, really fast.
Yeah, there you go. same thing.
Okay, cool.
Same text, different font.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to start creating these amazing cosplays that you do?
Ooh, I would say it's always a good place to start is to pick something that you're passionate with, for sure. Because I don't know, just picking whatever's popular or whatever you think is gonna pop off, it doesn't translate well in a sense. Like most of my cosplays are all things that I'm deeply passionate about or just have a connection with, or I have this little bug in my head that's like, yo, if you shot it like this, it would look so cool, right? And just like that passion for me is what pushes me through my projects as well, especially through like, you know, the difficult humps or problems that I'm not able to solve and whatnot. So I always recommend like pick something that you've always wanted to cosplay or something that you really want to make. Doesn't necessarily like, you know, don't go out of your way and be like, I'm gonna cosplay something from Monster Hunter. maybe that's that idea for like a first project.
Crazy task.
Yeah. Maybe don't like go into the deep end kind of thing. But you know, just pick something that you love, that you'd like to wear or that you think would look cool. And that motivation will push you through more often than not, because, you know, doing things that you don't know how to do, it's intimidating, right? Yeah. But if you've always wanted to cosplay like Sonic the Hedgehog and like that is your passion and you think that would be like the coolest thing to show up at the con with, that will push you through the project 100%.
So if you had the chance to collaborate with any creator or brand of your choosing, who would it be and why?
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna call out one of my friends on this one because I've been waiting for this one.
Chris, I'm just kidding.
If he came busting through that door.
But my friend Chad from Hoku Props, I've known him for 10 years, which is crazy now. Like, and we've always like seen each other at cons or like have cross paths every now and again. And every time I talk to him, he's like, "Yo, we gotta collab," and I'm like, "Yes. When are you free?" Yeah, and he's also just always busy. Always busy. He's also one of those friends that works with like a lot of companies and all that good stuff. I think he showed me one project that he did for One Piece specifically. They wanted him to make like a Gum Gum arm cannon or something. They actually had to like figure out the whole kinetics for that. That was crazy. But
Wow.
yeah, some crazy stuff. So he's more on the engineering side of things.
Okay.
So he knows how to like, weld and, do metal work and pressurize things and whatnot. So I've been wanting to build a prop with him specifically because I don't really do well with like the whole mechanics and the moving parts and whatnot. And I know he would be able to just really help me get that edge into something. And every time I'm like, "Yes, Chad, when?" It hasn't happened yet. I saw him like earlier this year in January and he was like, "Yo, I'll be free in February." It's March now, dude. Where you at? Where you at, bro?
Where you at, bro?
We need a pair of gauntlets that actually like move.
That would be sick. I would love to do that.
Oh.
That would be awesome.
And again, this you can go in any direction with this, but what is the ultimate goal for Akemi Cosplay?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Ultimate goal. I feel like I've done so much already in my career. I don't know what more I could ask for, truly. I mean, you had mentioned it earlier. I've done competitions and I've won like a handful of competitions, and I've already gotten to work with some amazing companies from these properties that I've been such a huge fan of for so long. I mean, honestly, just I love going bigger, and I don't know if I'm trying to compensate for something or what, but I just want to keep building bigger and better stuff. Have you guys seen the end of Arcane by chance?
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yes.
Arcane, yay. But like, love Arcane. But Jinx's Rhino, her giant gun that she has at the very, very end. I want to build that so bad.
Okay.
I want to make it big. And then, are you familiar with Poppy Playtime by chance?
I've seen it, but I'm not familiar with it.
Okay. There's a giant 18-foot tall, terrifying monster plush creature where I was like, I want to make that life size. I think it'd be fun.
You said 18 foot?
He's 18 feet tall, apparently. I thought he was like 9 feet, but no, apparently it's 18. And I was like,
yep,
what's a few extra feet?
That's crazy.
I'll pull something up really quick. But it's not a difficult design. It's one of the ones where Stubby was like, "Yo, if you make that, it's not staying in our house."
Yeah, 18 feet.
18 feet.
Why not?
Unless you could cut it in half.
I know what that is.
Yeah. That could not be
terrifying.
In my house. Yeah, no, that could not be in my house.
Can you imagine just like that at the end of the hall?
Bruh. Those are one of those things where you look outside and you look left and you look right and you run to the bathroom real quick.
Right. Imagine putting it's 18 feet tall, so you're on the second floor, standing up in a window for someone to see.
But I mean, also, I would have a field day with my wife because as soon as she wakes up, I would put that right there.
I would have to be in charge of it because I can't have it scaring the crap out of me.
But also, I would have to be in charge of it so my wife won't try to mess me up with that.
There you go. Yeah. I just think it'd be so fun to make him life size. I don't know.
18 feet of that?
Yeah, 18 feet.
That's insane.
This like gangly little guy.
Yeah.
I'm 3D printing a life-size Jeff the Shark at the moment. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I love that little guy. that little demon. Yeah. Oh, he's bigger than I anticipated. I actually had to scale him down slightly. He's what was it? He was like 5 feet long, like 2.5 feet tall. He's big.
Wow. Yeah.
I thought he was like medium dog size, not big dog. Like, oh my god, he's big. So I had to scale him down like 20% just so he'll fit my car.
Goodness gracious.
He's big, but I also I'm just doing things that I think would be fun to have.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of laying down and I was like, yo, what if I did like Luna Snow, but I had like a life-size Jeff on little wheels and I could just pull him around with me? Wouldn't that be sick?
So this is one of the things in your notepad. That'd
be so cool. So it's just it's so funny because everybody's like, how do you pick what project you want to do? And it's like whatever little worm in my head is giving me a dumb idea.
That's a worm.
Like the Hopi guitar, I just on a whim, I was like, I want that on my wall.
Yeah, I remember watching a video for that.
A couple days, I think.
But it is so amazing that you can, and I feel like that is a superpower, that whatever you pretty much think in your head, you can bring to life. Like that is such a that has
so
to be
fun.
A
Yeah, just like making stuff with my hands. It's so fun.
Yeah, that's so dope.
Cool. All right, last question for you. Is there anything about your journey that you would go back and change?
Ooh, I don't think so. Because I like who I am right now, and given all the embarrassing moments, the hardships or mistakes that I made, I wouldn't be the same as who I am right now. So. No.
We like who you are too. You've been amazing.
Absolutely.
I like you guys too.
This has been so fun.
This has been a blast.
Yeah, this has been awesome.
Yeah, shout out to Perry, Mama
Perry.
Manager Perry.
Appreciate you, Perry.
Making this connection, man. Akemi, you've been phenomenal, just as phenomenal as your work you are as an individual. So thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. Absolutely. Before we close this out, is there any final words you'd like to leave, whether it's our viewers or your viewers that happen to see this as well?
Ooh, okay. Well, thank you for having me again. Absolutely. I would love to come back sometime for sure.
Absolutely.
I don't even know what we do, but we could. Oh man, I feel like we just barely scratched the surface on some of the anime stuff, and I'd love to like get into it more. I think this is why Perry brought me up, because like she had brought me over to like have dinner with her and Kumar, and she cooked and like at her new home.
Yeah.
Like, wow, this is like so nice. And I think I just talked about Sonic the Hedgehog for like an hour at the dinner table.
Which
like
makes
a little weirdo.
Sonic the Hedgehog. I was like, okay.
Yes,
I was like,
encyclopedia.
I'm having a nice dinner with my friends. We should be talking about like, you know, what they've been up to and like work and like, oh my god, how'd you pick out that kitchen backsplash? But no, I'm talking to her about like why like friggin' Sonic the Hedgehog turns into like a werehog and has stretchy arms at one point and fights God at the center of the earth. Like,
oh, that's great.
I'm so embarrassing.
That is also a fun dinner.
Authentically you. Don't apologize for that.
Just not a conversation I expected to be having in my 30s, but you know what?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Hey, listen.
Hey. But yeah, I would love to come back on and like, you know, chat some more about whatever you guys are down for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's all I do is I like love to talk and like overanalyze and go in and like shit on anime or praise anime and whatnot. Like you know, Devilman Cry coming out, I'm gonna tear that thing apart, dude.
Hold on, okay, so you don't like Devilman Cry?
I love Devilman Cry, but I know who's animating it, and I'm like, I don't know.
Oh my goodness,
who's animating?
Same people that did Castlevania, I believe. So potentially,
hold on, that should be great.
Should be. But have you compared season 1 Castlevania to this Castlevania Nocturne?
I haven't.
I've heard that people like Nocturne. I haven't.
Oh,
yeah,
it's good. It's very good. Don't get me wrong. But just comparatively, they've been outsourcing a lot of their like you know, the smaller parts of their animation out to different animation studios. I believe they had anywhere between like 3 to 4 different animation companies working on Nocturne at one time.
Yep.
So there were some occasions where beautifully fluid, and then all of a sudden when went to being animated on like 24 to be animated on 2s for no reason. Sometimes the characters just looked like completely different, like they were drawn by a different company, which they were. And I'm just like,
okay.
I don't know.
The first Castlevania was so good.
So good.
Fire.
Excellent. Yeah.
The fight scenes, the way things exploded, the
story, and like the food. Fight scene,
excellent,
amazing.
Excellent. Yeah, like I was like, I don't remember who I was talking to, but I was shitting on like Invincible for like so long the other day.
I haven't seen
season 3, but I have seen the animation. Mm-hmm. I have seen the animation on it. Not the greatest.
Yeah, they're
not the greatest.
Like
not the greatest.
It hurts my soul. Oh man.
We'll have to get you on a live because we also go live on Saturdays. So we have to get you on a live and we could go crazy about it.
I'd be so down. I'd be so down to piss off your fan base.
Sorry, listen, Preston pisses off our fan base on a regular, so you fit right in.
Yeah. Oh, but you should watch Invincible season 3. It's great. Do you guys read the comics as well, or
no?
Okay. No spoilers then, but yeah, it's pretty good. Like it didn't end where I thought it would, and the part that I anticipated that they would spend a lot of time on was over in one episode.
So that is what we're dealing with solo leveling. But all right.
Yeah. Oh, honestly, yeah. Oh, I love solo leveling, but my god.
Have you read it?
I have read most of it.
Okay.
Yeah. But
so you're past where they're at as far as anime.
Yeah, past where they're at, and I love how they've been animating it and whatnot. But at the same time, I'm just like the pacing of the anime is so strange. I'm like, who's in charge of this?
No, it's like back.
We should still be in Jeju.
So fast. Like, why are we? Yeah.
This
and also I don't like the back and forth and how they go. Anyway,
it's so annoying. I'll be like on the edge of my seat.
Reboot this conversation and just go into
honestly. But yeah, I'd love to come on again and just like shoot, do all that stuff. But yeah, if you would like to have me, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. You've been phenomenal. But yeah,
great.
You guys have been great too. This has been lovely. Had a wonderful time. Yeah,
great.
That's good.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, and then thank you guys out there as well. Thanks for tuning in and whatnot. And for me, let's see. I mean, I always have like new projects coming out. I can't tell you what I would like to say like what I have coming up, but like I'm literally under like multiple NDAs at the moment, so I can't. So that sucks. But I stream on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays with my VTuber model at like 3 p.m. like a really weird time, 3 p.m. PST. So if you want to come hang out, you're more than welcome to. And yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. Well, Akemi, thank you so much. Everyone that stayed until this entire time, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us and watching. All of Akemi's links are down below in the description for her VTube. All that stuff is down there below. So make sure you guys go show some love, go support, go watch her do her VTube streams and have some fun with her friends because she goes crazy. They all go crazy. It's a really fun time to watch and listen. And Akemi, again, thank you so much. Yes. And with that, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Bye.
Peace.